Hi, everybody. It's Doc Sports Daily, and it's Tuesday, February 4th, 2025. And the hits keep on coming this week. I think I got Nick sick, it sounds like. So we're gonna battle through this. But I'm gonna blame it that you were on an airplane coming back from Vegas when everybody's sick. So Nick, how did your night go last night?
Not bad. Went 1-1. We dropped the NBA play with the Indiana Pacers. Just could not get it done as the Utah Jazz continue to score points there at home. They didn't cover. It was -7 for the Indiana Pacers, but we smacked UAB in our college basketball here, Craig. In our last 28 plays, we're 22-6 for plus $7,280 steamrolling. And tomorrow night, I have a 2-pack coming out in the college basketball. And there will be a 7-unit best bet tomorrow night, Craig.
All right, big Wednesday. What do you have any top plays tonight?
No top plays tonight. We got a 4-unit in NHL and 4-unit in the NBA.
All right, Griffin. How did your night go, and what do we have for tonight?
Well, Craig, yesterday we had a 7-unit in the NBA side of things, and I said in my breakdown, call me crazy, but I've got Washington winning this thing outright. They, in fact, went ahead, picked up their 8th win of the season, and won that game by double digits. So we cashed our 7-unit. That makes us 13-3 now, and our last 16 plays graded 6.0 plus. And when it comes to my plays graded 7.0 plus, I'm currently on an $8,400 profit run. So absolutely soaring right now across NBA. I went 1-1 in college hoops last night, and I passed on NHL. But tonight, I had unloaded the tank, and I have a 7-unit best bet tonight at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time on the ice. So, ladies and gentlemen, tap in by all means. We're 16-7 right now in our last 23 plays. So we're on fire right now. I want to say $4,000 profit, Ron Craig.
Nice. All right, let's get right to it. Let's start in the NBA tonight. But before we do so, make sure you get into that free 60, docsports.com/free 60. This is where you're going to get the best plays. All of our free picks that we give out, we like them, but our top plays are always reserved for our subscribers. So go over there. Any new customers get a free 60. Of course, if you're not a new customer, just go to the grid and get in on. It's $30 per pick per night, or you can get a week for any sport for $99. So make sure you go over there. And you can use that free 60 with the if you want a longer term pass, just add to it, put the $39. So
Craig, and I saw yesterday again, you cashed another one. So where are we rolling at? How you been doing? You asked me and Nick. How you
yeah. I didn't want to jinx it, but yeah, we've been hot. 16-5 run and top play run, and NBA has been absolutely amazing. 15-4 over the last 20 days, and we had the Warriors. Had to sweat that one out to the end, but tonight got a huge night. Another 6-unit play in the NBA. When you're hot, you continue to fire away. And then I have a 7-unit play in the NHL, which we are 9-2 the last 2 weeks. So I am a little less volume as far as most other cappers, especially in the NHL. But I do like this 7-unit play a lot in the NHL tonight. Don't forget, like and subscribe. Well, you don't miss out on all the stuff we do here at Doc Sports, including all kinds of other free play videos every day. All right, like I said, let's start in the NBA. We'll do a kind of a quick version of the NBA today, maybe one pick each, and then college basketball got a huge card tonight. We'll talk about college basketball next. All right, NBA. Griffin, you had the Knicks as our free play yesterday. Didn't look good. They were down like, 12, 11, 13 points going into the fourth quarter. Not only do they cover, or to come back and win, they cover. Kind of a miracle, but we'll take it. What do you have on a follow-up here tonight?
Yeah, Craig, I love this play again tonight, and we're going at another back-to-back matchup. It's Indiana at Portland. So Indiana, they won last night 112-111, so we had a low-scoring finish, but it does make it 4 consecutive wins. They're now 8-2 in their last 10 games, but you have to look at the way that this Portland Trailblazers team is playing right now. They've won 4 consecutive matchups, and this will be their 6th consecutive home game. So you have to suspect that this team is going to be comfortable heading into this matchup. Portland, after this matchup, they have Sacramento. So they're going to leave it all on the court in tonight's matchup because that's going to be a tough spot. Meanwhile, I think Indiana, they're going to come into this game a little bit exhausted. They've been jumping back and forth from San Antonio to Indiana, then Utah last night. Portland, they're a home dog right now, getting 5.5 points. I am not jumping in front of this team until they drop a loss. So in this matchup, Craig, give me Portland again, plus 5.5. Until this team steams off, I am not jumping in front of them. They are an absolute powerhouse load. So give me the 5.5 with the Trailblazers right now, Craig.
Yeah, I mean, Portland's won. Not only are they covering 9 in a row or whatever it is, they're absolutely winning games. And like last night had to go to overtime, but I mean, they're playing amazing basketball. I hope the front office doesn't do a ton to kind of mess with chemistry as the trade deadline because not like they're winning a championship this year, but it's good to see teams that are building. We see Detroit do it. Now we've seen Portland do it through the draft, through their young players. And I like that one tonight as well. Nick, what did we have yesterday as a free play?
Oh, for basketball?
I can't remember what you had yesterday.
What did I have?
I knew I had the Blazers. I knew
Bulls because we would have blasted you and ripped you apart.
Wait till today's free play.
All right. Well, tell us what you like for tonight.
Yeah. Well, we're going with the Chicago Bulls and the Miami Heat here, ladies and gentlemen. The Heat are coming off a nice win against the Spurs, 105-103. Bam ended up having 30 points in that game and the game winner. But the Bulls, on the other hand, no shocker here, lost to the Detroit Pistons in their last game on Sunday, 127-119. But we got rid of my guy, Zach LaVine. He's on the Sacramento Kings. It's time for different players to step up here. Nikolai Vukovic, he's going to have himself a night here. Look at his over in the prop market on his points as well. Here's a sneaky one. Over 1.5 3-pointers. In his last game against the Pistons, he had 4 3-pointers there. Look for Vukovic over on the 3-pointers as well. But it's time for different people to step up like Josh Giddey and Kobe White here on the offensive side of things. I look for them to step up in tonight's game. The Heat aren't as deep on the bench, especially. They got Bam and they got Hero. Giddey, he's got to stop Hero on the perimeter. Bam will get locked down by Vukovic tonight. If you could lock both of those guys down for the Heat, this game's going to be a lot closer than people expect. Call me crazy. I know the Bulls are 9-16 at home this season. I'm not saying they're going to win outright, but this spread here, plus 3.5, I think it's going to come down to a last-second shot. I like the Chicago Bulls. We got a new team here, ladies and gentlemen. Chicago Bulls plus 3.5 here tonight, Craig.
Man, you really didn't like Zach LaVine.
I do not. As much as I like the play. As much as I would love to just completely bash you right now, I love the play. I love it.
All right, I'll finish it up here. I like the Lakers tonight. They're won 6 of their last 7. Several of those recently was without Anthony Davis already, as he was out with injury. And they're facing a Clippers team that kind of pounded them last time out when they faced off. And I just think LeBron has heard since Saturday how this is going to be Luka's team going forward. This guy is not – he thinks himself as the GOAT for a reason. Usually he is he's going to pass it as much as he's going to shoot it. I think tonight he's going to go for a triple-double, and I think he keeps them within the 8.5. I think it's just an overreaction because people think, okay, no Luka yet. Lakers, they lose Anthony Davis. He wasn't playing anyway. So I think this line probably would have been like 5.5 to 6, but because of the perception here with the trade and the distractions, I'm taking the Lakers here plus 8. I think it's just an overreaction to that trade and who's going to be available tonight for the Lakers. I don't think it matters. Your crosstown rival, I think they get up to play here. They're all pros for a reason. And Austin needs a good game tonight. Austin Reeves, because he's a guy that might be on the trade. Where does he fit in now that he'll be the third ball handler, Luka, LeBron, and then him. I think there's a lot of teams out there that could use a point guard / backup point guard. I think the Lakers might be looking for a big guy. Austin Reeves might have a big game tonight, kind of on a show-out game. Okay, let's move to college basketball because it's an absolute huge card. And pretty much from here to conference tournaments, there's going to be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, just absolute just up and down the card. And you can't – it's not just the premier conferences. There's some hidden games, which I have one of those today. Nick, why don't you kick us off with a free pick in college hoops tonight? I think this is a great card.
Yeah, let's do it. We got Michigan State and UCLA here. Michigan State just dropped their last game on the road at USC. 70-67 there. They had a bad loss. They don't really have to travel. They're playing UCLA. And if there's one thing about this Michigan State team, especially after a loss, Tom Izzo will have these boys well prepared here tonight against UCLA. UCLA has been steamrolling, winners of 5 straight. They just beat Oregon at home 78-52, a beatdown. They are 11-1 at home this season, but they're 6-4 in their last 10 games, while Michigan State, They're 9-1 in their last 10 games. With that loss to USC on Saturday, like I said, they don't have to travel here too far to play UCLA. I think this Michigan State team is going to be ready here against this UCLA team on the road. I like the points with Michigan State plus 3.5 over UCLA here tonight, Craig.
I will say the one worry here for Michigan State, I mean, this might be Tom Izzo's best coaching job, which if you look at his history, that's saying something. I mean, he's somewhat doing it with smoke and mirrors a little bit. It's not like they're loaded with NBA prospects on this team. Yet UCLA has probably 3 dudes playing in the NBA. And Mick Cronin just got to get them to play like together as a team and like, instead of individuals. When they've done that, they've played with everybody. It's really, it comes down to, can UCLA and Coach Cronin, kind of all be in that fist and all pulling for the same thing. If they do so, this should be a great game tonight in the Big Ten. As Coach Izzo is going to have his guys up and ready. Griffin, what do you like as a free play tonight in college hoops?
Absolutely. I mean, I got to say that was one of my favorite plays in the cards that I did not put on my premium selections, but I do have another play that I absolutely love, and that's Baylor at Texas Tech. And you look at these 2 records and it signals a trap game. Baylor, they're 14-7 on the year, and that's not bad by any means. 6-4 in their last 10 games, and coming off a victory over Kansas on Saturday in an 81-70 final. So that's something to definitely keep your eye on. Texas Tech, on the other hand, they're laying nearly double digits in this matchup against a team who just beat a number 11 ranked team by double digits with Kansas. So this is clearly a mismatch in my eyes, and we have to find it. So Texas Tech, they've won 6 games in a row. They just beat Houston on their own home court in an OT final. So that brings all the momentum in the world. I mean, when you beat Houston on their own home court, you feel unstoppable. And that's exactly what Texas Tech is doing right now. They've won 6 straight. They're a stout 11-2 at home, and they have one of the best offenses in the nation. Meanwhile, at Baylor, they have one of the worst defenses. They're top 100 when it comes to the defensive side, and that should be the fall of them in tonight's matchup. I think Texas Tech throttles right past them, beats them by double digits, and covers this 8.5 point spread differential, Craig. So in this matchup, I'm laying the points here with Texas Tech, and I'm laying that 8.5.
Yeah, remember, even though Baylor did win, they were down, 15 at half or something, 20 at half? I mean, it was down a lot.
Threes.
I mean, they came roaring back. They did lose VJ something or another, their star, to an ankle injury late in that game and questionable tonight. I'm guessing he probably won't go. He's got a big future ahead of him. I don't think there's any risk. I know there's no rushing him out. Yeah, I mean, I think they're going to make the tournament unless something really falls off. And so I think Texas Tech absolutely rolls tonight. It's a huge letdown spot. Anytime you beat Kansas, it's a letdown. But anytime you beat Kansas in the way they did, coming back from double-digit down and then to win by double digits, I mean, that is a huge play. We saw how good Kansas was last night against Iowa State. So Big 12 is an absolute – I mean, it's an absolute just slugfest in the Big 12. All right, I've got a under-the-radar play, and Drake and Murray State. And Drake has been unbelievable this year, 20-2, 11-9 against the spread. The line is only 4.5 to 5, depending on where you get it at. A lot of that's due because Murray State won in January. They beat them 66-59. But since then, I mean, Drake's been playing absolutely amazing, and Murray State's really struggled. I mean, they lost a bad Missouri Southern team 77-56 last time out. I like Drake here to get the revenge in a big revenge spot. I think Drake is one of those teams that you got to watch in the NCAA tournament. If you can watch this game tonight, this will be a good, what you're going to see in the NCAA tournament. And I think Drake's going to win and cover here. So I think that's a really good play in Missouri Southern Conference tonight play. So there we have it. Nick, do you have maybe another gem out there? There is some just absolute bangers in the NCAA tonight. And, we really didn't cover any of them, to be honest. Like that Marquette St. John's game. Any opinion, either one of you, on that game? I mean, Marquette's been amazing, but
I have a premium on that one as much as I'd love to go at that one, Craig. I do have a free play that I could throw out right now, but it's a double-digit spread. It's not the greatest game in the world. It's Auburn against Oklahoma. I can jump into that one if you want me to. Yeah,
I mean, Auburn is this kind of a letdown spot. What do you think here?
I think they throttle them, man. 13 wins in a row. You're 11th in points per game. You're top 50 in the nation when it comes to rebounds offensively and across the entire court. They don't turn the ball over whatsoever. They're insanely efficient on the defensive side when it comes to defensive turnovers. They have the best offensive rating in all of basketball. And right now they're going up against an Oklahoma team who's just not playing great basketball. I get it. Yes, they're 16-5, but they're 5-5 in their last 10 games. And they just played a solid Vanderbilt team, not a legitimate Vanderbilt team, a solid team. And they beat the living hell out of them. So what that does in the psychological concept is you go from Vanderbilt to now playing Auburn, who in my eyes, I have Auburn power rated as the #1 team in the country, which they are ranked when you look at the screen. And I believe they're just going to come down and absolutely hammer this Oklahoma Sooners team. So, Craig, I will be laying the points tonight with Auburn in this matchup.
It's one, like if you look, the SEC's just like the Big 12 this year. They're the top 2 conferences. It's like it always worries me when you run. I mean, basically they play a ranked team every week, and all of a sudden you face a non-ranked team. It's like, it's the inevitable. What happens in every sport is that you have that
competition.
let down. I was kind of thinking Oklahoma in the first half because I could see Auburn come out, a little slow. Oklahoma fans are obviously you're playing. Anytime you play a top 5 team at your home court, you're going to be like, ready. I kind of think. You take Oklahoma in the first half, and then maybe you play in game the second half for Auburn. So a lot of people talking about this Marquette game. I actually think people saying St. John's. I think Marquette plus the points here. I watched them play at Butler. They were down, I think 7 or 8 in the first half, and then came back and won by double digits. Like, this is a team that can just turn it on. I mean, Shaka Smart. Like, how Texas ran him out of town is just absolutely just mind-boggling. It's the reason why Texas sports sometimes can struggle, where it's just the pressure is so big. I think Marquette can win this game outright. I think St. John's is like, if you watch the Villanova game early in the year, Villanova had them like 1 or 2 points with like a minute and a half to go, missed a 3. Yeah. They came down. They ended up covering, and the final score was double digits. But it's like those can be deceiving type of games. They've played some close games that they pulled away at the end. I think Marquette is slightly the better team. And as much as I love Pitino, I think Shaka Smart's a better coach than him. And that might be blasphemy when we're talking about betting against the Hall of Famer and Rick Pitino. But I'm going to take Marquette, a small number plus the points in this one, plus 2.5. Nick, anything else you like in college hoops?
Yeah, let's talk about this USC and Northwestern game. This one was a tricky game, especially looking at this line. Northwestern is favored in this game, -2. USC is coming off a win against Michigan State, like I just talked about, 70-64. But Northwestern lost 3 games in a row. Their last loss was at home against Wisconsin, 75-69 here. USC on the road this season's 3-1, while Northwestern's 10-3 at home. Northwestern plays very hard at home, but this USC team just hasn't been as consistent this season. Yes, they have big wins over Michigan State, over Illinois, but now they got to travel all the way here to Chicago, play in a smaller gym, Northwestern. Something's going on with this line because, yes, USC is the better basketball team here, but there's a trap going on, and I would take Northwestern on the money line in this game. Xnay the 2 points, that -2 points, and take them on the money line because it's a trap here. I just don't see USC coming in here, even though they are the better team, and blowing out Northwestern. I think Northwestern competes here tonight and gets the win here. Craig.
Craig, you're muted.
Sorry. I was muted.
There you are.
I was coughing, so I had to turn it off. Remember the expanded Big Ten this year? We saw it in football. Teams going west to east struggled. Teams going east to west struggled. You just talked about Michigan State, top team in the league, lose at USC. They probably were slightly the better team. It's very, very tough to do it. And Northwestern at home Coach Collins has absolutely changed the culture of Northwestern basketball. I don't understand why this guy hasn't gotten a better job unless he's just turned them down, because if you can win at Northwestern with this, the recruiting where you have to recruit some mostly smart kids, imagine what he could do at schools where he doesn't have any restrictions. I do like Northwestern. I think Northwestern it's like nobody wants to go to Northwestern. I don't care how good you are at Northwestern. It's an absolute Like, it's hard to get there. It's, hey, you know what the kids in USC are doing? Oh my God, how cold it is in Chicago.
Yep.
And, and you're coming off the big win. I think Northwestern wins there as well. I like that one.
I love that.
All right. Last little play I have here in college hoops tonight. Call me crazy. Kansas State, Arizona State. Bobby Hurley. I thought he would absolutely turn that program around. And he has to some extent. But the whole crybaby in the last time out against Arizona, wouldn't shake hands, calling I don't know. I just think a guy that is a Hall of Famer like Bobby Hurley needs to rise above that. And I think it has a little hangover effect anytime you lose to your rival. And Kansas State, they were ranked early in the year. Then they kind of hit that dry spell. I think Kansas State can win this game +3. I think the line tells you as such. They're saying if this game was on a neutral floor, that it would be a pick'em game, and I just don't think that's the case. I think Kansas State should be favored on the neutral floor. I'm going to take Kansas State, small number, +3. I think the line tells you all you need to know in this one. Okay, let's go to the NHL. I think big NHL card. Obviously after one game yesterday, and I did hit the Ottawa play yesterday. Was a small play. Like I said, I have a big play tonight, and I know you do too. Griffin,
I do.
Do you have another free play for us here?
Yeah, I could absolutely drop one down. I absolutely love this game, and it's a puck line play, and it's Dallas at Anaheim. I mean, you just look at this straight off a metric standpoint. You could look at this game and go Dallas puck line. Anaheim is dead last when it comes to offensive goals per game. And then Dallas, on the other hand, their defense is absolutely stout. They're top 3 in the nation when it comes to goals allowed against. And their offense is not bad by any means. They're great on shots on goal. They're effective definitely on face-off percentages and across the boards. They play very well on the road. They're 34-17 on the season. They're on a 5-game winning streak. And Anaheim was just on that 3-game winning streak. And then I believe they dropped one, and then they just picked up a win in their most recent matchup against Montreal. I want to say it was a 3-2 final. So when I look at this game, Anaheim kind of exceeded their limit. They kind of fell back down, and then they picked one up. Well, now they have to deal with one of the best teams in the NHL, and I just don't see them being able to light up the lamp offensively against this Dallas defense. So I will drop the puck line in this game, and I also lean on that under. It's currently sitting at a total at 5.5. I think Dallas pulls this game off in a 3-1 final, 4-1 final. I don't see Anaheim being able to score against them. So Dallas puck line is my play here in this matchup, Craig.
Okay, so don't forget, he's got a 7-unit play tonight, right, in the NHL. Yep. So make sure you go over. You can use that free 60 if you go here, DocSports.com/line. Here it is, free 60. Use that free 60. You get the $60 account, and you can get in on that. I also have a 7-unit play. I'll go with my free play next, and we'll finish it up with Nick. I love situational plays when teams play really good on the road, then they have to travel. Ottawa, we were on them last night. Yeah. Now they're a -180 favorite or underdog at Tampa Bay. I like Tampa Bay, the first, the puck or the 3-way line, so we get it closer to even money, -115 to -125, closer. I think Tampa Bay is just a great situational spot. You get an Ottawa team that's having to travel. Nice win last night, and you're rested and ready to go. I think this Tampa Bay team has underachieved to some extent throughout this point of the year, and I think they're ready to go. I like Tampa Bay on the 3-way line. Now, if you don't know what the 3-way line is, if you go click on your sports book, you actually click the game and you go to, it'll say 60-minute line some places. That means if it goes overtime, we lose because you can actually bet the tie. So you get a little better odds without having to lay that puck line because we know a lot of games end in one goal. So if they win in 1 goal, you're still good as long as they do it in regulation. Okay, Nick, what do you like as a free play for tonight in NHL?
Let's go down to Winnipeg, actually, where Carolina Hurricanes take on the Winnipeg Jets here. Carolina is second in the Metropolitan, while these Winnipeg Jets are first in the Central. The Hurricanes just dropped their last game to the Los Angeles Kings at home, a bad loss against a struggling Kings team, 4-2 in that one. The Jets, on the other hand, winners of 6 straight, just beating the Capitals on the road 5-4. Jets at home this season, they're 25-3 on the season, while the Hurricanes, 1 game above 500 here on the road, 12-11-3. Hellebuck was supposed to be in net here, but I just actually looked at my phone. Hellebuck's got a record of 33-7-2. And Eric will be in net here for the Jets. He's got a record of 4-7-1. The bias does change a little bit, but we're sticking with the team who's been great at home, who is on a winning streak here. Yes, the Hurricanes, they're coming in right now 4th in goals per game, while the Jets, they're 1st in goals per game in the National Hockey League. Even though Halleback, he's one of the best, if not the best goaltenders in the National Hockey League, he will not be in here tonight. Carolina put shots on net. That is my only concern, but we're getting a dog price here with the Winnipeg Jets. That it is a plus 140, I believe, or plus 130 on the money line here at home against a team who is 25-3 at home. They play their best hockey at home. Carolina struggled in their last game, and the Jets have just been keep on keeping it on with goals here. I like the Winnipeg Jets at home over the Carolina Hurricanes with a dog price here, Craig.
Was that Winnipeg's won like 4 in a row, right?
6
in a row. So they've really turned it on.
Plus 115, plus 120.
I don't like that they switched the goaltender, though. Halleback was supposed to be in net. I did a free play earlier because I loved it with Halleback, but we'll see if Eric could save some pucks here. But I still like the Winnipeg Jets. They're playing too good a hockey right now.
Yeah, and at home, like you said, they've been a different team at home, even though this winning streak has some of these road wins at nice prices as well on the road. All right, there's one play, I think, in NHL that talked me off of this one. Nick, you're the hockey guy. Like, I being in Ohio, I get a lot of Blue Jackets stuff, even though I'm not a Blue Jackets fan, just to be honest. I think the Blue Jackets have a chance at plus 155 tonight. That's the range I'm always looking at. Like I think we said before, plus 155 to plus 165, 170. Those are the range that I think juicy underdogs, as I call them, in the NHL. And Buffalo is better than them. I obviously that's why they're favored. I don't think it's this price better. And I think the Blue Jackets, they've had some nice wins lately. Tell me they can win or not win tonight.
I believe you could possibly win, but the value is definitely going to be on the over here tonight. Both teams here, the Columbus Blue Jackets, they're coming in 8th. They have 3.26 goals per game here, while the Sabres, they're over 3, sitting at a 3.12. Columbus, they just lost their last game, while the Sabres have won 3 games in a row. The dog price, obviously, there is value on the Columbus Blue Jackets because they could score, but both teams could score. I think the value here is on the over, that 6.5, even though it is a lot of goals. I still think there will be a lot of goals in this matchup here. I would lean towards the Columbus Blue Jackets, though, here, Craig, because there is value and they just are coming off a loss. So they want to get back in the win column. And this Sabres team has won 3 games in a row. They're not that great. And we could see an upset here with the Columbus Blue Jackets tonight, Craig. So
I can't believe I missed this one, Craig. I absolutely love this play, and I love Columbus here. The only reason that this line is juiced the way it is because Columbus doesn't play well on the road. Buffalo has a terrible defense, and Columbus has an outstanding offense. And Columbus is playing real good hockey right now, and they're coming off a loss. I really like this spot play right here, and I can't believe I'm going to wager this with my own cash here tonight. Yeah. I'm looking at this game. We're going to get plus 140, plus 150 odds on this. Columbus is the play. I can't believe I missed this one. I'm all over this one, Craig. I'm not talking you off of crap. I'm here.
Well, I always like when I won't parlay unless I can have some plus money in the parlay. And so that's why I was looking down through like, okay, a little small 2 or 3 team parlay tonight. So what I'm hearing is Winnipeg as an underdog and Columbus as an underdog. Those two will pay
I don't love the Winnipeg. I don't love the Winnipeg, but I love Columbus.
I think they can win. Like I like hot teams, and especially at home. And then I think Columbus, like I said, it's in that range where I'm always looking. I almost go right down the list. Okay, where are these games? Can they win or not? Like, can I see in the right spot? Because a lot of times you get to the plus 250, not that they can't win, but it's like they're plus 250 for a reason, plus 300 for a reason. I'm not trying to just absolutely hit a grand slam every time I come up the bat. I'll take, doubles, triples, and a 2-team parlay that has a plus 150 plus, and then another plus, we can get home with that. So let's little gem for you, Winnipeg and Columbus Blue Jackets tonight, little parlay. Okay, guys, people mentioned we have a Super Bowl show. Yes, Thursday we'll be out with the Super Bowl show. We're going to have on Robert Frigner's going to be on Thursday and Friday this week. But Thursday's the show. We're going to be talking a lot of Super Bowl. So we'll actually give you some free stuff, as always, for the NBA and NHL. And we'll just do it real quick, and then we'll have like 20 minutes to talk about the Super Bowl, what we like, props, sides, totals, player props, all that kind of stuff. Don't forget, like and subscribe, and don't forget, get in that free $60 account. We've got some huge plays tonight. Griffin has a 7-unit play in the NHL. I have a 7-unit play in the NHL and a 6-unit play in the NBA. Been absolutely tearing it up. So make sure you check it out, docsports.com/free60 if you're new. If not, go over to the grid. And don't forget, 1 o'clock every week. Not every day, sorry. Monday through Friday, you can catch us, and we give out all our free content here. So, all right, guys, great show. We'll see you back again on Wednesday, 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Good luck.